you guys are all doing well today. You are at the St. Louis Knitters Guild. If that's not where you thought you should be, you thought it was something else, you can sneak quietly out the back, and we promise not to laugh at you until you're outside. So, this is us. Things we are going to do today. Not right this second, but introduce yourself to somebody you don't know. And this is a nice group. We've got a nice full group here today, which is wonderful. But introduce yourself to somebody you don't know. Wear your name badge. Because I know you, but I'm getting older, and I forget your name off the top of my head. So please wear your name badge so that I and others like me are not embarrassed. Please silence your phone. I'm sure you got a really awesome ringtone, and I'd like to share data about ringtones later, but not during. And please, most of all, respect the speakers. Remember, nobody here is being paid. Everybody here is volunteer. So chattering on while we're trying to do what we promised to do isn't really very polite, so please don't. Why we are here. The purpose of this organization shall be to promote interest and skill in knitting, to encourage high standards of quality and workmanship, and to encourage the use of those skills for the benefit of others. That's why we're here. Newsletter deadline this month is February 28th, and you can always make the newsletter better. Oh, I saw a hand back there. Oh, you were just pulling your yarn, sorry. Just pulling your yarn, I'm sorry. But, you know, if somebody wanted to volunteer for something to put in the newsletter, that would be great. And it's a very limited volunteer. All you have to do is write the article and send it to Sarah, and she takes care of everything.
Or give me a printout.
Or give her a printout.
I already got a submission for the next newsletter.
Who submitted it? Raise your hand. You're so cool. Let's give her a round of applause. Nobody will raise their hand. Whoever it was, we're clapping them. Because the newsletter is more interesting for all of us if everybody contributes, okay? We do have some yarn for charity projects here today. We also have yarn. Riola and Joan have brought in some of Tony's stash, specifically for doing baby surprise sweaters that we will donate. All the yarn that we have here is for donation stuff. Don't take it home and try to make a sweater for somebody that we don't know. Come back here, bring it back here, that's what it's for, okay? Announcements. You can now use credit card for online renewals without going through PayPal. This makes me very happy because PayPal has become, there's this new word. It's called shitification. And what that refers to is generally tech companies, and a couple of the techies in the audience are nodding. It's an actual word. They've added it to, I forget which dictionary now. But what happens, especially with tech sites, they start out really cool, like PayPal, and then over time, they get lousier and lousier and lousier. And PayPal is, Susan's shaking her head, I think it's a good example of that. Because when PayPal first came out, it was awesome, and now less so. So if you, like me, are not a fan of PayPal anymore because of the shitification process, then you can now pay without doing that. There are no extra fees for using PayPal and credit cards now, because it's so much easier for us to process the electronic payments compared to a check, which we have to take to the bank or photograph or deal with in some way. This is kind of all automagical and wonderful. And so we want to encourage that, so we wanted to take away the fees. So if that's stopping you, and if you're sitting there one day thinking, should I write a check and dig a stamp out and send it through snail mail? Please don't, because USPS renewal are arriving in our mailbox as much as a month after their postmark. And I know we had one, Pam, that was dated on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
It was the check was dated Christmas Eve, and it didn't get there till the end of January.
No, it was like 3 weeks after that I picked it up.
So maybe the post office is undergoing shitification as well.
It's very dirty. The envelopes are very dirty. They've been in the system flying around. I do not know.
So if you're thinking about using U.S. Postal Service, think about that. And how many of us here, I mean most of us here, let's face it, we've bought yarn online. We know how to use our credit card when we want to. Okay, so this is a way that you can help out our volunteers by making it a little easier and there's no cost to you to do it, okay? All right, so yeah, we encourage you to do the online renewals. Announcements, Alice is going to be coming off of the board, so thank you for 2 years of service. Everybody, yay! And May is going to move off the board this year as well. She's, how many years have you been on the board? You've been on at different positions for like a decade now, right, May?
Off and on, yeah.
Yeah, off and on for at least for more than a decade, but.
Yep.
So thank you to May for. And we have a new volunteer to be secretary, and Danielle, I spoke with Danielle today, so she'll be our secretary. Thank you, Danielle. Okay, if I clap with this thing, it's gonna make a terrible noise.
Somebody else has to do hospitality though.
I'm sorry?
Somebody else has to do hospitality.
Oh, hospitality, right. So since she's doing that, we would ask for someone else to come and do hospitality. So if you feel like you have a nice smile and that you would like meeting people as they come in, that would be awesome for us. And all you have to do is like, what do you have to do, Daniel? Sit at the front desk, smile, and
Talk to people and give away presents.
see? Oh, fantastic. Kathy's going to do it. Great, great, great. And while we've got people volunteering for things, we also still need a volunteer for administrative VP. And you would get to be the administrative VP for our 40th anniversary, which means we get to spend a little money this time, so not as much of a cheapskate kind of thing. And we are not, well, I'll let May tell more because she was going to talk more about that. So,
Who's going to do hospitality?
Kathy Showrock.
Yes.
Yay, Kathy. And the elections are coming in March, so please decide sooner rather than later. Our 40th anniversary contest for hats and scarves. Submission deadline, July 12th. It's closer than you think, people. Okay? So get started on those. First prize, $250 for each of the categories. Second prize, $100. Third prize, $50. Now, all of this does require that we get 15 people entering. So if you've got a really cool entry and you think you want to win the $250, make sure all your friends enter something too. Yes, Pam?
And the board members are excluded.
We cannot be in it, right? We cannot be in that, so, John?
One clarification, it's not 15 members, it's 15 entries.
Right, so you don't have to be a member to enter.
No, you do have to be.
Okay.
You
I'm
can
sorry.
get multiple.
One person can enter 15 items of the same thing, so we don't have to have 15 different members entering one single
But it
item.
would be 15 different patterns.
15 different patterns, yes, 15 different items.
Thank you for that. I did not even think of that aspect.
Is this the one where you have to make up your own pattern?
You do.
Okay.
You cannot give in, yeah, because this is going to become part of our guild pattern book. You have full copyright, just you will allow us to keep it in our pattern book forever. But you have full copyright. We don't take any of your copyrights away. So you can publish it in all kinds of cool places if you want. All right? So real money. That's like real. You could buy some nice yarn with that. Just saying. That's what I'm thinking. We also want to promote quality in the contest. So if your item comes out looking like this, maybe you don't want to enter that in the contest, okay? So we want a hat that, doesn't cover your eyes and doesn't, hey, you get it. You know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. So I won't belabor that too much. Here is our judging criteria. Design, artistic appeal, originality, creativity, color balance, and or harmony. That's not applicable to designs that are worked in a single color, of course. And quality and workmanship. That means leave those ends in and other stuff, but you know what I mean. You guys are all great knitters. Knitters Guild Association views. We are part of the Knitters Guild Association. Our guild is a member. Individuals can be members individually as well. They have something called the Next Level Knitting Conference, which I think, John, didn't you last year kind of do a little
Yes, I
thing
did.
about that? You want to talk?
Well, I'm doing it again this year, so I will have a summary of items and things that are presented at that meeting. I don't get paid by the TKGA, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of a spiel about it. if you don't mind.
Please.
Taking up your time.
You can have the microphone if
It's
you
a
want.
3-day event, and there are some 30 or more classes and opportunities for you to get involved at whatever level you were involved with.
Is it all online or is it
It's
in
all
person?
virtual, it's all online, and the sessions are available for a 6-month period. So although it takes place in April, it will be available for 6 months thereafter for you to reference any of the online. Obviously, if it's a live class, you can't take the class live again, but they have recordings of those classes for you to review. So it's a really good opportunity if you're interested. The early bird registration is still open for another couple of weeks, I think.
Oh, I think it's March 15th.
$150 for the 3-day seminar. That's the early bird registration. And I'm not sure about the members. You do have to be a member of TKGA.
And that's like a $25 fee.
Well, okay, the price, you can, if you pay for the non-membership price, you get a better price by becoming a member and getting the early bird registration. So, yeah, you're right, you don't have to be a member, but anybody with a brain cell will say, yeah, I'll do that deal rather than the other deal.
And all knitters have brain cells, so we know. Thanks, John. Yeah, TKGA is really kind of a neat group. Did I see a hand back there, or are you pulling up yarn? Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's online.
Oh, it's, okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, the meeting minutes from the last meeting were in the newsletter. Does anybody have any changes? Would anybody like to move to approve? Do you have an approval or a movement? Could I get a second from someone? So Joni and Marcia, I know your name, I just forgot it. That's why I didn't tags. I can't read your name tag from here. And the treasurer's report was in the newsletter. Are there any questions? Okay, that will be submitted for audit then. Meeting space. First of all, I did make a presentation at the Board of Trustees for the library to ask permission for us to use the Clark Family Branch area. And they only answered in writing, and they haven't answered yet, as far as I know. So I have not received, I don't know in writing if they mean snail mail, because then it could be stuck at the post office. You heard what Pam said, it might take 3 weeks to get here. But I haven't had an email yet. Yes?
How many people need to be accommodated?
We have between, I don't know how many we have at this meeting, Danielle, do you know? We usually have 50 to 70 people at a meeting.
51 members, 1 guest.
Right. So we're frequently over 50. So a room that only holds 50 people, like the Brentwood Community Center that we were in, we were breaking the law every time we
Well,
were there.
I don't know if it's available or not, but I just found out like the Dealman Center, which is in Creek 4 by the golf course, has a room that holds 80.
Oh, is that the old community center there by the golf course? Because we used to do things there. I'm looking at Margie because I know she remembers when we were doing events there. We did potlucks there for a while.
Yeah, because I
And
noticed
stuff like
on
that.
the wall that there was a sign that said, maximum 80 people.
We could probably do that.
So, they usually charge.
Good to know, but they do charge.
Oh.
So we'd have to find out how much.
Yeah.
Yes, Joni?
Gateway Knitters met at the Clark Family Library for their February meeting.
Well, they may be able to just, if you just show up and meet there.
No,
they got
they
it.
had
Well,
reservations.
you can make a reservation for 25 people or less.
Yes.
Oh, maybe they had a smaller group.
Yeah, and 25 people, I guess we could say we're gonna meet there and just go stand in the hall. It's a lovely hall. Have you guys been to the Clark Family Branch? Yeah, the new one is beautiful. And I wouldn't mind having my meeting outside, except that you don't have a projector and you don't have your stuff. So for the meantime, until or unless we hear from the board, we've got this going on. I want to hear from the board before we take other action, because we need a more regular place. Moving around, I have heard your feedback. You do not like to move around. Honestly, I do not like to move around either. So we may have to take other action if the library doesn't allow us, but boy, they really should, especially since the Genealogy Society, which is about the same size as us in terms of their meeting. I've been there because I go sometimes, not lately, not today because I hadn't come here. But their group is about the same size as ours, and they fit just fine over there, and they meet the same day as us. So it's like no work for these guys, but regardless, I did make that point, or tried to. Okay, and by April 5th, we can try library systems again, and you know, I know I had heard from somebody that was like, well, why do you move so much? If you're gonna move north-south, why don't you go to the same place every time? And the reason we don't go to the same place every time is the same places aren't available every time. Like, this room is really nice. I like this place. But it's not always available on our meeting dates. Other people, you know, even though we get in, it's not other people that are beating us to it, because we are in there as soon as they open the system. It's library events. The library events trump us. And so if they have an event here, nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. And that actually would be true for the Clark branch as well. If they happen to have something on a Saturday afternoon, on the second Saturday, we would have to go somewhere else that week. Anyway, but we do have other locations through June, so hopefully the library will call us before that. Okay, Administrative VP, May.
My memory is beginning to go, so I made a list of what I need to talk about. And if you're thinking about being an officer, a group of officers are always nice and fun to be with. And you do learn more about the organization as well. Okay. Potluck. We need a potluck committee. I started asking for a committee because I'll be out of town. But people are needed to help to set up, people to make beverages, and people to help clean up. So I have a sign-up sheet here. There's 2 of them on here. The other one is for a D-stash table. We're asking for a $5 reservation to be able to get a D-stash table. D-stash means something that you wish to sell. Most times it has to do with fiber of some kind. If you have something else that you do and you're a member in good standing, we'll let you bring whatever you want. We've had other items, but knitted things go well. So let me start this around. Okay. The second thing is Founder's Day. We are still looking for a location, and we will take suggestions. I think I've tried about 20 or 30 places, and one of the things we found was some of them want $3,000 to be able to rent the room. And then we have to pay a caterer. That's beyond our budget. I would also like some of the locations that we're thinking of are downtown, Ballpark to the Arch. How many of you would not be comfortable going to downtown? Okay. That's what I was thinking, okay. The other thing is we are not going to have the same old, same old. This is our 40th, we're going to try to make it special, to have a little different experience. Some of you may remember some of the things that we used to do when we were a smaller group, and we're going to try to bring some of those back. Also, I would like to say thank you to some of the helpers underneath me. Danielle for hostessing. I appreciate her stepping in at the last minute. To Diane for membership, she keeps our list and gets the name tags for people. And Joanne, and I can never pronounce her last name, she's not here today, she does our knit-in listing. So if you have changes or questions about those, you can call Joanne, who's in our directory. Do I have any questions?
It's Joanne Acklepole, right? Acklepole.
Okay.
Good German.
It's
name.
recycled.
John. Oh, John.
I don't really have anything to offer now. I will wait until my presentation. There's stock magnets, like I will mention now, but I'll give you a link and direct you how to get to stock magnets. If you aren't familiar with stock magnets, you can have either Pam or me. Stock magnets is really an experience not to be ignored. Is that, you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And registration closes
February 15th.
where, let's see, February 14th, where it is not February 14th in the world. It's a world competition. You'll meet people from New Zealand and all over the place. It's cool. So,
It does sound like fun. I keep
It's
looking
a lot
at
of
it.
fun.
I keep
And
looking
it's
at
called
it.
magnets for a reason.
I haven't made socks for a while. I'm a recovering sockaholic, that's why. Sarah, community service. Oh, she's got.
I have stuff today. I know. I'll use the mic just in case, if you don't mind. Okay. All right, our hat goal for 2025 is 1,200, same as last year. We've got probably about 130 over there now, which is fantastic. I know we missed an in-person meeting in January, so you probably were accumulating them a bit, but also want to give a hats off, I know, bad pun, to all the chemo hat knitters. 64 chemo hats went to Siteman Cancer Center this month, 55 before that. We're going to start dividing them up and dropping them at Pratt as well, so thank you very, very much. Other knitted items are always welcome, scarves, mittens, etc. I have a few etceteras here I'm going to just hold up. This is absolutely adorable, so it's, I don't know if you can see, but it's like a, okay, thanks. My assistant will hold the microphone for me, thank you. So it's a little doll, and it's got a couple of changes of clothes and a teddy bear, and it looks like a bassinet, right? Like, you know, but check this out. This is so cool. It's got drawstring. So, I'm gonna take it. I know.
My grandma used to make those.
So, I mean, stuff like this, you know, kids would love this. And then one more thing I want to just hold up. Like I said, we can always use, you know, any other items. Just adorable baby sweater. And I know we've got the baby surprise jacket going, knit along. So I'm going to ask Joan to say a few words once I get done with my little report. But, you know, not just hats, anything, you know, we'll find a home for people need things, you know, toys, sweaters, blankets, which we have about 5 over there, I think. Numbers, we've got 4 T-tops, which brings us to 110. So 25 to go. I mean, pretty amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause on that. We also have in April 5th, Knit for Food. Colleen is going to be doing that again. She's over there, doing her marathon knit for food donations. Let's see. Talked about T-top sweater. Oh yes. So and one more thing, and then I'll ask Joan if she wouldn't mind talking a little bit about the baby surprise jacket. But this is a handful of thank you notes from some of the organizations that we donate to. And as I get these, I'm going to try and publish them, at least paraphrase them in the newsletter, or at least list the organizations so you know where everything's going. I mean, we've got probably about 15 to 20 organizations that we give to regularly. So, you know, again, not just hats. If you want to make scarves, mittens, gloves, you know, fingerless mitts, adorable, you know, baby in a bag, you know, type thing, please do. And with that, I'll turn it over to Joan.
I don't want to talk in the microphone. I hope I can talk loud enough because I've had a cold. Toni Emerson passed away back in October. And when Riola and I were visiting with her, she said, I think we might have been making baby surprise sweaters because I regret that I never made one. So we said, we'll make one for you. So that's what prompted the knit along. So if anybody needs some help with it, we're going to be doing it before the next 3 meetings, so through April. And then I knit on Thursday nights at Seven Sisters if anybody wants to come up there and if they have any questions. But these are all made with 160 stitches, and it depends on the yarn that you're using, what size it ends up being. But, you know, it's a kind of a funny construction. I mean, when you make it, it's like, this is what you get. And it's like, well, what do I do with this? Well, that's part of the fun. So when you fold it up at the cups, then you have your little sweater. So it's not real hard. It's you do a lot of increasing, then you do some, or you do decreasing, you do some increasing, you do some other little techniques that aren't that complicated. It just, don't freak out when you look at the pattern. I do have a row by row instruction sheet that if you have the pattern, I'd be happy to share that with you, that you can kind of keep track of what's going on as far as some decreasing at the cuffs and things. Anyway, if you want any help with it or have questions, I'd be happy to help you. And Tony donated, we had a lot of yarn that was in Tony's stash that we're donating that to anybody that wants to make a baby surprise sweater to be donated to. It's either going to be, if it's a big size like this, we are going to give this for knits for kids. And if it's a little smaller, then those will go to the Newborns and Need Eastern chapter. So if they're smaller, we will, you know, we'll find a home for everything. But anybody has any questions, just see me tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Joan. And one other thing.
Question?
Yeah, oh, yes.
Well, it's an answer. I created a pattern. The row by row is great, but I have several copies of that, and I did it get in the newsletter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's in the newsletter as well, but it's the abbreviated version, and you know, just it makes it more straightforward for me. So you might not like it, but you know, there's several paper copies over there.
Yeah, that it actually follows the reminder from Joan on the baby. So there, it's all. That's why the newsletter was pretty lengthy this
It was
time.
pretty long.
Yeah, which is good. You know, sometimes I have to look around for pictures to fill space. Didn't have to do that this time. One other thing though, thanks to Paula for making, we have now a chemo hat box, and there's a sign over there. So. If you make chemo hats, you can go ahead and drop them in there. Otherwise, as we're sorting through, you know, we'll pick out those that seem, you know, chemo hat worthy and drop them off. So thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you, Sarah. Susan?
Hi. You probably know the website password changed. If you don't know the password, it's in the newsletter. If you have trouble logging in, just let me know. I tested every page, but it's possible that I missed one. So if you do have an issue with the password, just email me and let me know. You already talked about the no fees, which is good. And we got an email from someone who is opening a new yarn shop. Yes, she has asked to be listed on our website, which I will do. It's going to be called the Painted Egg, and it's going to be in St. James, Missouri, and she's going to be opening like early May. So when I get more information, like I looked for that. There's no website or anything yet, but when that's open, we'll let you guys know. So yay, another local yarn shop. I think that's it. Yeah. You guys have any questions? Yes, ma'am.
I forgot to mention today's Tony Emerson's birthday.
Oh.
Sure.
Go. Lead the way.
Oh, yeah.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tony. Happy birthday to you. We miss her. By the way, as Susan's sitting down, if you guys haven't been on a website lately, you should go. She's been doing a lot of work, getting all the everything. Everything is just beautiful, and especially there was a lot of work to getting to be able to use the new credit card system. So she has been working really hard. So if you see her walking around, pat her on the back and thank her because she's worked so hard for us. Okay, Pam. Do you want to talk? No, Pam doesn't want to. Oh, questions?
I have a comment about the website. For the meeting for
today,
Speak up a little.
on the website where it says our meetings, it still says this meeting, the topic, whatever, TBD.
Oh, did I not, on the main page? I probably forgot to change it. at the bottom.
Yeah, and I just thought I'd bring it to your attention.
Okay.
Because I went there to look before the newsletter came out, and I thought, well, people are looking for the guild, so.
Okay, yeah, I will, it's two, on the bottom of the main page, there's like an abbreviated version of the calendar on the bottom of the main page, but if you go up in the menu, to the calendar, that, sometimes I forget about the main page, but the calendar page is always updated, but I'll double check that. Thank you.
Thank you. Diane? Membership?
Come up.
It's on. Hold it,
Okay.
hold it till you can hear your echo.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, we have 196 members this month, and we've got a few new ones. Julia Wen, and she just showed me how to pronounce her
She
name
here?
today.
Raise your
so I was
hand.
grateful for
That's
that, yeah. She did. Deborah Bremer. Okay. Okay, you said renew, but I didn't find your name on the list, so I put you down.
Been a couple years.
Okay.
Got my badge. I already stole it.
Okay, all right, I believe you, okay. Madeline Richter Tessing. And Drew Bertels. Okay. So that's it. I do have a few name tags. A few people came to me with ones that I'm not sure where they are. I will look for them. And that's it. So.
Thank you, Diane. Oh, I also have this that, I forget, who gave it to me now? Oh, Serene, thank you. I actually noted your name and then completely forgot it in that much time. This is a book that I think somebody else had talked about before. Vicki, yeah.
Vicki did.
A short history of the world according to sheep. And it says just on the back that it starts in ancient Mesopotamia. That's going to be 2,500 BC or BCE or whatever they call it now. I thought they only had goats in Mesopotamia, so much for that. But she had offered for this to be passed around so everybody could get a look at it in case they want to read it. Because she thinks, and a lot of people, everybody who reads it seems to love it. Yeah, really, everybody loves it. Okay. And now we have Danielle. Can I hear a drum roll for the hospitality drawing? She might need help because she's got so many fabulous prizes.
All right, the first one we're doing is Tony's Yarn.
Could you come up front?
And
Can you come up?
Tanisha from the new yarn store in Larson donated the baby surprise pattern. So we've got yarn from Tony and a donated pattern, and
She's using her random number generator,
yeah.
so we know it's totally on and up and on.
So number 10.
And
Then
who is number 10?
Bonnie Marshall.
What did I do?
You won!
You want a baby surprise?
Yarn is always good.
We have another pattern. Latitude Barocco yarn, and the pattern goes to number 39. And 39 is Tracy Brown. Tracy?
Where's Tracy? Yay. I guess you guys can't clap either.
And Miss Carol Coon gets some beautiful purple yarn that I'm kind of jealous about.
Susan.
What I get?
Yarn, bamboo yarn, cool. Shiny.
Carol Flannery. Flannery, you want the soft twist?
Ooh, soft. Susan, did you see the monster book pattern book back there?
I don't know. No, I didn't.
Caitlin Lamprecht? I think that's good for today. Yay.
So just remember, because Danielle will be joining the board, if you want to be able to give away prizes and be everybody's best friend, then you can do it too, and all you have to do is smile. Oh, but Kathy already do it. I'm sorry. My brain is cramping. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. So Kathy gets to do the packing of prizes. That will be that. Okay. And now it's time for show and cheer. And I'm going to put this microphone on the mount. So you could like be like Mick Jagger if you wanted to, but no. So anybody have stuff to show? Why not?
This is my mid-weight, top-down raglan, and it's by, remember Diane Saucy from way back in the day? Diane Saucy, knitting pure and simple. Before short rolls were the thing. I knit this. And my husband said, why don't my sweaters look like that sweater? But anyway.
It's very nice. Very nice.
Hello. I made what I'm wearing. It's called the hoodie vest, and it's a free on Cascade Yarn site, and it's by Deborah Newton. And it has a hood. Ta-da! And then it has a kangaroo pocket. So, and I was really happy with it. Very
And I wanted to show and share my shawl. This is the Lark's Meadow shawl by Boo Knits. It's made from Nako Arya yarn. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But it's 80% acrylic, but it's 10% alpaca and 10% wool. And it blocked out just fine, as you can see, it's pretty good. And this poor shawl was in timeout for over a year, because when it got to be over 300 stitches, it just was a bad shawl, and so it had to go into timeout for a while, and then I finished it. So. Anybody else?
I'm gonna stop in.
Oh, yeah.
One, this is not socks.
It could be long stuff. Somebody take a picture.
I had some that look more like this than socks, I guarantee you. This is a knit along with Knitting Guild Association, and I'll just keep you updated. This is a over the shoulder, the fronts are made individually, and then the join at the neck, and down the side, and then I'm going to do the sleeves and the picking up stitches. So I'll just keep you apprised of the progress. So this is a watch the walk in your face.
Okay, so we're going to take about a 10-minute break. Or wait, is there anybody else? Did I miss somebody? No, everybody's. Okay, then about a 10-minute break, so we can swap computers out. And so we will start back up at about 2:50. Oh, and by the way, make sure that you thank a volunteer before you go, because remember, we're all volunteers. And thank you.